three distinguished, professional, intelligent gentlemen in the room.
This was a pretty good idea. I'm
Why
sorry
I feel
to
out
admit
of
it was
place.
your idea.
Let me introduce Caddo Parish School Superintendent, Dr. Lamar Goree. Thank you for taking time for us.
Good morning.
From DeSoto. I feel like an MMA announcer. And now from DeSoto Parish.
We'll put a world champion in front of it.
Dr. Cade Brumley. Thank you for being here. And for all the way from Bossier, fighting that traffic, airline driving 220. And Mr. Scott Smith is here. Thank you for taking time for us. Because we had not met prior to today.
Glad to be here.
Let's start with, and we'll start down the far end of the table with Mr. Lamar, Dr. Lamar.
By the way, you can watch on Facebook Live. We're streaming live if you want to look at it.
Let's.
They all look very dapper.
Each of you take a couple of minutes and sort of assess, bring us up to date, especially with the release a week or so ago of the state scores. Sort of bring us up to date on the state of your district, if you would.
Okay, we'll be happy to do that, and I'll try not to take too long, Robert. Thank you and Erin for the invitation to come in. Really excited to come in and talk about the progress that we have made in our school district with the recent release of accountability results. Really excited that the district did grow. We saw a 3.6 point growth, bringing us to a 78%. We still held tight as a C district, and as we look at that C and the improvements, we really do feel encouraged that there's a lot to grow on. For the first time in the history of our schools, since the inception of accountability, Caddo Parish has no high schools that are labeled as Fs. We saw an increase in A schools. Captain Shreve joined the ranks of our A schools, and really cool that happened as they celebrate their 50th anniversary of that school. Saw significant schools go up. We saw some declines, and we're just excited that we have developed plans around those schools that have declined. We're excited that this scores really speak to our efforts within our most needy schools, and it's really presented an opportunity for us to continue to grow and improve where we need that extra effort in our school system. And equity is the key in Caddo Parish. And if we look at our school districts, and I was having a conversation with someone on yesterday, and if you look at Title I schools, which are schools that are made up of high poverty, if you look at Walnut Hill, Claiborne, and Warner Park, those are all Title I schools. So they all have high percentage of children in poverty, but they're so different in makeup. So really looking at how do we as a central staff make sure that our supports are designed and we are supporting what the needs are of the schools has been our push, and that pushes that equity conversation. No longer do we give all schools the same, but our focus is more on making sure every school has what it needs for its population to be successful.
Speaking of plans, Dr. Brumley from DeSoto.
Yeah,
every time we talk to you, you are an A district, and we say, tell us about that, and you say, we have a plan and we implement it.
We have strategy. And we hold to that strategy. We believe it's working. All the time people say, what are you doing differently next year? Well, we're not going to do much. What we are doing seems to be working. This is Bride session. Note that Lamar's short answer was about 3 minutes. But I will, if you can. I will say, for the second straight year, we've been able to hang on to that A. It's because of the team that we have and the work that we're doing, the strategy that we have. To put that in perspective, and this is the comment that I make probably more than anything that puts it into perspective. In 2010, we were the 45th ranked system in the state of Louisiana out of about 70 systems. And this year when the results came in, we're number 9. So we broke into the top 10. So we're really proud of that. We're proud of our kids and what that represents. But a score does not define us. A letter grade does not define us. The people and the character of our people is what defines us in our system.
Scott Smith, Bossier Superintendent, you guys are another A system. Big news for Bossier, right?
Well, thank you, Erin, and I appreciate y'all allowing me to be able to speak here tonight, this morning, actually. But I want to thank Dr. Goree and also Dr. Cade Brumley for what they have done in their particular school districts. I appreciate you giving me a chance to brag a little bit about what's going on in Bossier Parish. This is actually our first time becoming an A district, and of course these scores are based upon last year's 2016-2017 scores. We improved by nearly 10 percentage points, which we feel great about that. Cade mentioned following a plan, and that's exactly what we have done. We have tried to follow a plan. initiated professional learning communities, which is basically collaboration between all of our educators to help develop an individualized plan for each one of our students to help ensure that they all succeed, from those students who are achieving at the lowest level to those who are achieving at the highest level. So we've already been able to see results from that, and so we will continue that forward, and we're going to be moving into an actual, a more intense level of implementation of professional learning communities with a differentiated learning, which we really look forward to good things out of that.
This will be a short answer for you all probably, but we got several texts, and one was this to all three of you. Is there anything you can do to give us a better school calendar? Parents are, upset about all the different breaks and the holiday breaks and the spring break and the fall break and school starting in the early August. Is there anything the three of you could work together so that the calendar in the whole region is the same?
What can you guys do to make everybody happy all the time?
Yeah.
Well, the challenge there is that everyone has particular needs and wants. When we designed our calendar, and we've really worked very closely with these guys to try and, we do communicate about our calendars. And one thing that we've tried to do, and I've really stolen it from DeSoto, is to have those frequent breaks. Because, there's research around teachers really benefit teachers. Research around teachers benefiting from having at least one day off every 30 days. This work takes so much out of you that opportunity to rejuvenate is really important. So we really tried to build our calendar around that. In addition to that, you have to look at your testing windows and look at opportunities for teachers to collaborate on assessments and things of that nature. So we built those times into our calendar. But the short answer is yes.
Cade, you made that point to me a year ago or so ago that the breaks not only helps the kids, and then having a longer summer you found was detrimental.
Yeah, right. Well, first of all, the backside of that is that we face testing windows with ACT, with EOC tests, with LEAP. All of these different things have windows of time whenever you can actually get that done. And so we have to put that out there first, along with the universal holidays, and then the amount of contracted days we have legally for employees, and then we try and make it work. For us, we want to narrow that summer. And I know that's not always popular, but the academic loss whenever kids are gone from the school, especially in your lower socioeconomic families, is tremendous. And so if we can narrow that window, we find that the results are better whenever they come back to us.
Mr. Scott, you think year-round would be a good idea?
Well, of course, we would like to be able to align our calendar with every district around us. That would be the most ideal situation, but every school district is a little bit different. And we have to, look at our particular calendar. We have to look at our employees. We give our employees actually 3 different calendars to look at. And so they actually vote on the calendar that they wish to abide by. And this one changed a little bit this year, where we added more time for our fall break. We had actually a week, and that encompassed Columbus Day. We have some of those who wish we would be off on Veterans Day, but Veterans Day is actually one of our most important days of the year, where we actually have Veterans Day programs. Mm-hmm. So if they were just off that day, they would not know what Veterans Day was all about.
Sure.
Absolutely.
So that's our argument about having school on Veterans Day. But it's very difficult simply because our schedules are different, our needs are different. Actually, usually one of our calendar options does coincide with Caddo's, because we get those phone calls a lot that maybe parents who have children whose students attend school in Caddo. But so far, every once in a blue moon, the schedules do line up, but most of the time they don't.